finally got the card here. March 8th, T-Top's first card. Let's talk about it, guys. December 8th. First card we have here is, let's get into Clone versus Woosa. Small, talk to me.
Yo, Clone versus Woosa, day one for the most part is obviously going to be a little bit lighter than day two in the matchups. They got a couple that stick out, though. I think Clone and Woosa is one of those. And that's because I just like, you know, I give rookies a lot of stuff that they get booked way too fast to the top tiers. I know Woosa's battled T-Top and stuff, but I kind of like these fights he's been taking, from Jack Boy to the Bad News battle to the Clone battle. He's kind of proven it at that initial level before he keeps going up, and he's been looking really good doing it, bro. I had him beating Jack Boy. You know, we've talked about the Bad News joint. Right. Even with the time discrepancies, I thought he was really good in that. I'm a little worried about Clone, though, right? Because Clone had a good year last year. Then he started off this year losing to Muap. Now, not that Muap, I believe in Muap as a talent, but if you beat Suge and Twerk and you had a fight with Rock and blase, even though you lost, like, you should be able to win. He didn't look good. I'm a little worried that once again, he might kind of bring that level down, not as serious. And Woosa's not the guy to do that with right now. He's got really good momentum. So I think it's one of the better battles of day one. It's one of the ones I'll be locked in on the most. But I'm going Woosa 2-1, man. I wasn't a believer in him when he was losing at first. He was losing battles. He was losing all 3 rounds of the battles. But when you're winning, now you got our belief. Like, that's how the sport works. So I got him continuing that winning streak. It could be debatable, though. I mean, Clone is respectable. So,
Lang, what you got, brother?
Yeah, I also got Woosa 2-1. Again, I think that Clone battles up in competition. When he battles up in competition, his level rises. But when it's like on the same level or a little bit below, besides the Def the Kid match, I feel like he kind of plays down to his opponent too. So I also have him 2-1 as well.
And I'm with you guys across the board. I wish I cloned. And this is, I mean, one of us got to pick you. None of us are. I'm kind of shocked. Nobody's across the board all picking Woosa. Maybe it's the hot hand or whatever, anything like that. But I just did not think Clone going to beat him losing the Muap. I didn't like that at all, fellas. And I got to be honest, even the Tay-Rock battle, I'm not saying I had Clone beating Tay-Rock, even though his third round, I think third round, right?
I had him winning the third. I had him winning the
third round, right. But for the most part, Clone pacing, I know MLANG has talked about that numerous times and everything like that. I like Woosa, man. I'm 2-1, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead. What you got?
No,
man?
no. The only other thing I was gonna say in terms of Clone, right? I was gonna say that another thing that I'm noticing, right, is that usually if someone can match him in the lyrical department and the punches department is usually when he's like kind of like is like there's level shown, I should say. So I also think that with Woosa kind of being a back-to-back puncher too, with a little bit more of a newer, like fresher style to add to it, right. It just makes that comparison a lot sharper. So that was another thing too. I feel like Woosa kind of punches at a differently and is a little bit more creative with that as well too. So it makes it easier.
So last question about Clone and Woosa here. For Clone to lose to Woosa and Muap, man, is that bad though?
I mean, obviously, you know what I'm saying? And people take that instantly as disrespect. Like, I hate when you say something like that that's obvious, like losing to 2 guys under you, and then people are like, well, you can lose to anyone on any given Sunday. Like, that don't mean you fucking supposed to. You know what I'm saying? So I completely agree where he's taking some dangerous guys, because obviously who's going to be hungrier than the new talents. But I didn't like, and some people, I got to give some respect that some people did have him winning the Muap battle. I completely disagree. But like, I didn't like his material like that. Yeah. And then of course he's got one flow. So if he's not landing straight haymakers, I always compare punchers to like 3-point shooters in the league, right? Yeah. Like role play, where if there's a lot of guys that all they do is shoot threes. So when you shoot 40%, 45, you're dangerous. But when that 3-ball goes away, they're not putting the ball on the floor. You know what I'm saying? They're not giving you crazy defense or playmaking. So if he's not going to beat Woosa on the straight haymaker count, I like Woosa for everything else. Like, I think he's a little better of an all-around battler maybe already, you know? And I don't think it's going to be like a big room. So if it was a bigger room, I'd be like, oh, Clone's a little more experienced, you know? But it's not good to beat these top tiers that people kind of said weren't taking you that serious, right? And then you turn around and start losing to new guys. That's why it makes it hard for Clone to ascend to the next level, because it's hard to take that serious.
Next battle, Lang, talk to me. Prep versus Bandit Montana, Lost Boy. Look at me, Loud Boy.
Loud Boy.
Loud Boy. Yeah.
Freaky Ty, R.I.P. Mr. Cheeks part himself. What we got, Lane?
I got Prep 2-1. Just straight like that. I mean, say what you will about Prep. I know he has stigmas that are like placed on his name, but when it comes to rapping and battling, he can rap, and he's very creative. And I think a lot of people don't like, because it gets overshadowed by the drama and the stuff that he's involved in, and sometimes it's self-afflicted, right? Or for the most cases, it was.
It really is self-afflicted.
Right.
Stuff,
but if you're looking, besides the Tay-Rock one-rounder, right? If you're looking like his 1v1 work, he's been pretty solid. I had him low-key beating T-Top on the Rookies vs. Sophomores card not too long ago. I think it was now it's Snake. Right. So, but
you always gotta bring up damn Snake.
But for the most part, man, I think that Prep is a little bit more creative when it comes to his material. I think he can angle a little bit too, and he knows how to talk down to his opponent. I feel like, you know, if we're looking holistically, Prep is above Bandit Montana. And that's not to say Bandit Montana can't be competitive. It's just with what I've seen from Prep and just him being more battle tested amongst the top tiers, the mid tiers, and all that. I just don't see how Bandit is going to beat Prep. So I got Prep 2-1.
Did Bandit Montana lose to Capo?
Yeah, and it was weird. He kind of quit in the third. He's like, "Oh, y'all don't even want to hear me anyways." Yeah, this is hey, listen, Prep it's not like stigmas get put on his name. He's done some strange stuff, man. He's the consequences of doing strange stuff is people like, "Hey, man, you're a little strange." But the guy raps like really well. And he did get embarrassed by Snake Eyes in that one rounder, even though I called it out. But I've seen him have a fight with JC. Yes. I saw him beat T-Top.
Yes.
Yeah, I watched him beat Chess not too long ago on the rematch on Gates of the Garden. So, like Prep, one of those guys that when you give him real momentum, bigger stages, and kind of the focus is on him, I think he falters a little bit. But if he just catches like top tiers on random days, like Prep's a very good puncher, bro. Like there's a reason that he was kind of heralded at one point as like a real prospect, and he is a better battle rapper than Bandit Montana. I'm not the biggest Bandit fan, and not because of anything he did. I just don't think his skill level is all that high. I think that shows in his battles as well. I just think Prep is better. I think he's gonna be better for this set. A 3-rounder too. I think everything on day one is 3-rounders. I got more faith in Prep to kind of keep momentum across 3 rounds. I could say it a million different ways, but I just think this is one battler that's better than the other going in. So I got Prep 2-1 kind of out of respect, but I think it could be a 30 to be real.
I might go to gentlemen's though, Lang. I might go to gentlemen's 30.
Yeah, no, and I'm not mad at that because one thing we didn't mention was his ability to freestyle and rebuttal too. When done correctly, so he can do that too.
You're right.
Yeah.
Ability for that.
So, yeah.
In fact, yeah. So across the board, we got Prep, right? Bandit. But all right, is it an upset if Bandit beats Prep? Is that an upset to you, gentlemen?
Kind of. I mean, neither of them are that high level, right? So nobody's going to be like, yo, like Bandit beat Prep, because Prep doesn't necessarily garner that. But I personally it'd be an upset. Like I would be impressed because that's not a battle I'm expecting him to win at all.
Next battle, gentlemen, Gitty versus Dot. This is fellas, don't look so excited, please. Don't look so excited, brother. Okay, Gitty versus Dot. Is this the most quote unquote alleged entertaining battle?
Oh no, we're gonna be entertained. It might not be for the right reasons, but I'm gonna have a good time with this. It's got nothing to do with bars. 3. It's got nothing to do with bars.
You go hard representatives, or we do?
Nah, it's tough because like. If I'm Dot, the first thing I would say is like, you used to hype me when I used to rap. Like that's the first thing I would say out the gate.
You like a hype man.
Yeah. But
if they reuse that moment, that would be crazy. That would be crazy.
That would be crazy. I don't know, man. Like I don't know who I got winning. I mean, Gitty doesn't really choke like that, and Dot usually has problem with memorization. But Dot is a little bit more performative, has higher energy. I don't know. I guess Gitty 2-1, just for the sake of him being consistent. He won a lot of money actually on bullpen last year. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I guess if we have to pick anything, there's some level of stakes behind this battle. I guess with them having. I don't even want to call it a rivalry. I'll just call it. I don't know what to call it. But I have Gitty 2-1, and yeah, that's how I'm calling that.
Yeah,
That's I don't know. I don't know how to call. I mean, this is
some
one of those
battles
good
are just meant
battles.
for laughing and
This is the
enjoyment,
first
right?
time I see y'all stump in a battle. I've never
Nah,
I don't
because
know.
my thing is so I'll enjoy it because like obviously bar for bar we're analytical, right? But like I know
Yes.
how to have fun. You know, it's like some things aren't about like the competitiveness of this. This is going to be funny more than anything. I always said Dot is like a living parody of battle rap, which I think is a good niche for him. Like I make classic after classic, the reaches, like that stuff is funny. You know what I'm saying? But he's not like a great rapper. I remember when him and Enes battled, everyone's like, "Yo, this is fire." Did they choke 4 out of 6 rounds? Like, but we're just enjoying it. I get it. I know Gitty. I used to think Gitty was the same way. I think Gitty takes himself serious though, which is kind of like the funniest part. It's crazy. He's running around with $20,000 of taxpayer money, man. Yeah, the mayor gonna have to answer for that one day. But it's gonna be a fun battle, and I think on top of that, T-Top was smart because like I'm sure it's going to be a grittier setting, right? And I think there's going to be more appreciation for kind of those different styles. So I think this is one fully for entertainment value, for yelling value in a sense. But I don't think neither of these gentlemen are good rappers or words. In fact, I know they're not. And I'm going to go with what Lang said, though, that I have so much I could say about Gitty. I'm not going to go over the top, but he really don't be choking. And Dot like really has a hard time keeping his rhymes together. So I'm gonna go Gitty 2-1 purely off that. I think Dot is actually a little bit better when you break it down. But I don't.
That's what I'm going with Dot. What you just said. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can't. Dot is better, but he just
2-1.
don't be clean. So I'll be going Gitty 2-1, which I can't believe I just said Gitty 2-1. You're never gonna see that again, probably in your lifetime. But I got Gitty 2-1, man. But this is a battle. It's not about winner and loser. We're gonna have a good time with this one, man. We're gonna have some fun watching this.
Can it be cringy?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
a lot of cringe.
But you gotta know, sometimes you ever been to like it's like going to the function. It's like weird, but you're like, I'm gonna embrace it. I'm here. Like I'm gonna just, if you gonna get weird, let's get weird. This one of them battles that you can't be watching it looking for the word play, and let's get weird, man. Let's have some fun. So I'm gonna enjoy it for what it is.
I'm about to say, and this is one of the NY versus NY battles is actually on the card, and it's in Brooklyn, so that's
from Brooklyn. Hey Dot, what we doing? Hey Dot, you from
it is a Dot home game, ain't it?
Wow. The whole game.
I still gotta go. I still gotta go Gitty 2-1 though.
No,
I
Dot
still
got
gotta go.
battles coming up though. Dot was just on he's battling on some lower card. I forgot what it is, but he's got a few coming up. I just don't believe in him to be clean. He's better. Like I tell you, he's better, but what does that say? You know.
But what about the angle that Doc is saying? Like I always use my hype man when when he's over here and everything like that, and I don't know, whatever. Yeah, right. Next battle, Gotti versus Mark Mazy. Gentlemen, I heard him going back and forth in the spaces.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that. They had a space.
Yeah, the youngin was talking kind of tough, greasy, added shit. He said going. I guess
I'm actually familiar with. I think I watched one of his battles before.
Yeah.
He's okay. But this should be Geechee Gotti 2-1 clear. You know what I'm saying? Like he has a couple things coming up, so hopefully he uses as a tune-up, a proper tune-up, not just okay, I'm just throwing something here and then get back into the ring. Like an actual okay, I haven't battled in a little bit, because he actually really hasn't battled like that after the Hitman battle. You know what I'm saying? So maybe just to knock the rust off, practice a couple things. And that's no disrespect to his opponent, but I do feel like top tiers, and they take these up and coming talent, like they usually utilize those matches to kind of try out a couple of things, just get the pin back sharp and whatnot. And not that I'm condoning this, but all else fails, man, the man can freestyle. So I'm not that I'm condoning it, but all else
you're
fails,
getting closer to the path. He Charlie clipping this one. And it's
freestyles galore.
Yeah, it reminds me. It doesn't even mean he's gonna lose. I remember it was the Still Outside card. I think he battled Joey Linwood, who was a little more known. I do not know this man that Geechee's battling. Not saying that he can't be good. This is a moment to impress. A lot of people aren't gonna know your name. You know what I'm saying? But even when he battled Joey Linwood, obviously that guy gave his full fight, but I think Geechee, even at like 50-60%, still got out enough to just take it 2-1 light. I'm gonna go Geechee 2-1, but like I said, I don't think he's gonna have 3 rounds written. Maybe a round and a half, and then he'll piece it together in the middle in there. But I think we're definitely getting what do they say in basketball? Load management Geechee Gotti. I think he's not going.
Can this be a more of one situation, Lang? Could it be?
Mm, yeah, it could be.
I don't
It
think it
could
should.
be.
You
I'm
can lose any day you don't have your rap. So if he
yeah,
comes with not enough raps to compete, you could just
Yeah.
straight up lose, and it could be like, well, Geechee didn't take this serious whatsoever. But I think he'll do a solid at T-top. He'll bring at least a round that's dope, another one that kind of competes. And at the end of the day, if it's close enough, the people are gonna be like, yeah, we know Geechee's better than this guy.
And even in those type of battles against like younger talents, like even when he's not like 100%, I can't really call a time where he got caught slipping on like a small league or like against a smaller level opponent.
He since
So
A-Ward. That was a long time ago.
right,
You know what I'm
right.
saying?
So even in those type of battles, like you could still make it because like even him versus Joey Linwood, it's like he wasn't 100%, but he still probably won the battle. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he's one of the small leagues and getting like clearly washed. You know what I'm saying? So
all right. Next battle, fellas. Authentic versus Gorilla Monsoon. Gorilla Monsoon. Wasn't he about Aeon and
Yeah, he's back to body. He's battling
Back to
Mazy.
body,
Yo, that is a good this even though for like most people they're not gonna know these names.
right.
I don't hate this battle. You know what I'm saying? Like I think Authentic is okay. I know some people be calling Authentic dirt. I definitely think out of the Crucible, he's like one of the worst from that class. But if you're the worst of that level, you still got some level of skill to make it to the pros. I think Authentic's solid, and he's gonna be at home. You know, so he's gonna get some extra love. We Go Hard representative as well.
Yes.
And that's why I'm going to pick him 2-1. But I like Gorilla Monsoon. He's starting to make noise for you. I know the Bags and Bodies house, a lot of those guys think they're making noise, but they really aren't all out there in the public eye like they think they are. But he's one that he had the battle in Miami. He was on that car with Swamp and 40. I thought he was making some waves. Yeah, and he's going to be on Bags and Bodies. Like he's opening up like a very worthwhile card with the one night stand card. So I think he's doing the right things. And I think style wise, he's pretty solid, but he hasn't shown me anything. I might take him just pure skill a little bit over Authentic, but Authentic's been in some bigger situations and at home. And when we're talking this level of battle rap, that at home factor can put the battery in someone's back. Is Gorilla going to maybe falter a little once he sees that building isn't fully going his way? It's not just about the love that the other battler is getting. It's about your composure and how you handle it on road games. That's really what we're looking for. So I'm going Authentic 2-1, but it could be debatable. I could even see a world where Authentic wins there, but Gorilla gJgets it on cam.
Smo and Lang. This man told me 2 years ago, Authentic, I'm talking about, when the top six, these guys are easing them was popping and everything like that.
When they first got in.
And I quote, yeah, Authentic, I'm going to say it to my brothers right now. You said you're going to be the next Sue Surf. That's what you told me in the interview.
I remember that. And
a certain amount of delusion to be a part of this game, though. I ain't, you know.
Yeah, but let's bypass that part. But what I will say is that I do feel like, to Smo's point, Authentic is a little bit more battle tested. You know, again, I remember him against Jack Boy, where I had him beating Jack Boy in a good battle. Him versus JC, honestly,
I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, and honestly, I had JC winning clearly, but he did get a lot of love for his performance in the JC battle too on Traffic, and I do feel like I think Authentic is a momentum guy. I feel like once he gets going, it's like he starts landing like consistently. Like especially when he has these segments where he does like these elongated schemes and like this chain punching that he usually do. He's more of a bar for bar type guy, or at least tries to be. And with him being at home, and then with him probably already having momentum on his side before he even gets to rap, I think that's going to amplify what he does even more. So I do have Authentic 2-1 as well.
To go back to the Jack Boy battle, fellas, I was hyped to see his next battle after that battle because I actually liked the battle a lot with him and
Jack Boy. Jack Boy was really good.
Right. So refresh my memory, fellas. Who did he battle after that? Because the second was it JC after that?
No, he battled Capo.
And
they had that battle was not good. I had Authentic and they were mad at me, but that joint wasn't really good either way. Then he had JC, and then he had
JC was in between that, I think.
Yeah, JC and he lost to JC in my opinion, but he did pretty solid. And then he had Danny, who he lost to, and I mean that battle came. I'm sure 90% of the people, it's gonna be watching this ain't never seen no Authentic versus Danny. But, like Danny just kind of handled business. But listen, like being in front of that competition, even when you lose, you gain some level of experience, when you bring the difficulty meter down. So
Authentic, I don't know, man. Hansel, Clutch, Wusa, Eunice, like I don't know, bro. I'm gonna go Authentic, but I'm not saying on my chest out. I'm gonna say that though. Not on my chest out.
I agree there.
And I don't care if it's in New York City or not Authentic. I don't care about none of that. But okay. Shotgun Suge versus Don Marino, fellas.
Suge should win. And Suge been better where I think, he went all that. What'd you say?
Trap game? Is it a trap game?
Yo, low key, it's one of those where he spent his whole last year losing battles like this, where he's like a lot better than the guy in front of him. And he's just like, oh, it's a smaller card. I was doing a favor. And he expects sometimes like respect to Suge, but he expects us to like not count it less. Like, I get it, but just don't take it then. Like,
What did Easy tell him? Easy tell him, like, oh, you act like you get mad about the battles that we said we lost.
Like, how are you mad at us for seeing what we saw? That goes beyond that battle. That's a great battle rap quote. But I got Suge winning though, because he is, following. This is his first battle following the Easy battle, I believe.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's talking about 2025. He wants to kind of like have better momentum. I think he's better than Don Marino. And I also think Don Marino is one of those guys that people kind of go out of their way to not want to lose to. Like, Don Marino low-key has gotten a lot of great versions of battlers. Like, he got a great speech on, what was that, Guardians of the Culture? Or I could be misquoting the league back then. Him and Dandy was a goodie. Him and, he got smoked by Nitty, but he keeps getting great versions of top tiers. It's like they kind of see red when they see Don Marino. So I think I think Don will be better than people think, because I don't think Don is like as bad as some people think.
Don will give you one dope round, like Don versus Av last year. I thought Don first round.
He got the first, you know what I'm saying? So I think it could be something like that. But I'm a believer in Suge getting back in the win column, man. I think he's going to take this. I'm not saying it's going to be crazy super Suge, but I think he's going to take it more serious than we've been accustomed to seeing him versus Capo.
Hey, Suge, I know you watch me MLANG and Smoke, because you called me about when we spoke about the battle. You called me, brother. I put it out there, my brother. You called me about our review about the E-Heart battle and shit like that. He didn't like some things we said, fellas, but that's either head or there.
I got him smoking her. How is he mad?
He watched the whole thing. He stopped to call me.
No, I got him.
Then I said, sir, my brother's got you. We all got you in the battle.
Yo, he's gonna be mad when I got him 3-0, and then Hart gonna be mad that I got Suge 3-0. They just both mad. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So, but Suge, fella, what we doing, fellas?
Yeah. Suge 2-1 clear. I'm not calling it a 30 because I do think Don Marino knows how to fight it, take a round. And then when it comes to Suge, and also it being in New York, I don't know what it is, because I honestly think, funny enough, his New York performances be better than like his home game performances. Jersey, I don't know what that's about. Right. Yeah, so it's gonna be in Brooklyn, right? And a little bit of somewhat of home cooking, because there's gonna be people traveling and whatnot. So yeah, I got Suge 2-1 clear. I'm pretty confident in that pick.
How much OD are we gonna get with these Biggie bars? The OD of Biggie bars.
Oh my God.
Crazy. They're gonna be a little OD though. But I got Suge. I'm with you fellas on that though. Main event day one, fellas. I like this one. Fonz, the Landlord versus Billy Yano, Bill Collector.
I'm gonna take this one really quick. Really like this battle. Really like the fact that Fonz is taking on a different type of competitions. I do feel like Bill Collector is much different than any other top tier battler that you will see in the culture. Right. A little bit more unorthodox, a little bit more like he's performative, but he's also like very pin heavy at times as well too. I'm just happy to see Fonz battling, a high quality opponent right now. But if I'm not mistaken, this is one of his, I don't want to say his first time, but this might be one of the first few times he's battled in NY. You know what I'm saying? So that's interesting to me. And honestly, I'm trying to think of his outside of Hustle. I don't know if he's battled outside of that in between that time, maybe a couple one-rounders here and there.
I think he just battled Clips the other night. And I just realized, because I saw that people said Marvin Smoke the battle. Event didn't get pro.
Card,
going down, but I think that he just had Clips in the 3-rounder. I don't know how it went. Cancel, who knows? But I know.
Yeah. But even outside of that, if I'm just going off of last year, I feel like Fonz had a really good year last year. Not necessarily under the radar, but a really good year last year. And he's made it to where he's not only beating like people of his stature, but people above him as well too. Had him beating Gitty, a really great battle with Chef Trez. Him and Hustle was an amazing battle. And I feel like he's really trying to make a statement this year as well too, especially if he gets more top tier opponents.
John. You always hear me, John.
Yeah, you're right.
We know that.
And then on the other side, I think Bill started off really good. Chess, Tay Rock, you know, but Coach Corleone also in Chicago as well too. But it just went completely downhill after that with the JC battle, the Ill Will battle. So yeah, I mean, just off a trajectory and honestly, in their best form, I just think that Fonz is a little bit more dangerous right now. I got Fonz 2-1 in a really good battle. I think that Bill Collector understands how dangerous Fonz is, and will probably get a Bill that's closer to the chess form, the Tay-Rock form, because he needs to kind of be in that form to compete.
Yes.
But yeah, I got Fonz 2-1 though.
Talk to me.
I'll take it a step further, man, because my thing is Fonz, what I like about Fonz, I think some battlers got this ability, not saying he's as good, but reminds me of like K-Shines, even John's a bit, that like when they win, they could really kill you. Like, and I mean, every top tier battle rapper got the ability to body you, but there's some that like when they get that edge, more times than not, they like really make an example out of it. I don't think this is the time for Bill to be taking Fonz, man. I think Fonz is super duper duper dangerous right now.
Yeah.
He's looked dangerous versus all top tier competition.
Yes.
And Bill is obviously a top tier in his own right. So eventually he's going to bounce back. Maybe this is the battle where he gets, because if we're talking to Bill the first half from last year and years before, yeah, he could compete with Fonz. He could compete with damn near anybody. I'd still have Fonz 2-1, but I'm gonna go Fonz 3-0, man. Even with Bill being decent, I think Fonz is one of those guys that when like I said, like Fonz and Lou Castro, you know what I'm saying? Fonz and Real Name Brandon. Granted, these guys are a bit lower, but even Fonz and Suge, like when he wins, it's not no respectable 2-1 and someone fights back. He's got a great catalog of like kills.
His win-loss resume is impeccable though, fellas. I ain't gonna hold you.
That's what I'm saying, man. And they tend to be lopsided. When it looks like Fonz is gonna get a lopsided win more times than not, that's exactly what he gets. So I'm going to go Fonz 3-0. And if Bill proves me wrong, Bill's got the talent to make that not happen. But if we're looking at it, his motivation hasn't been there. And he's losing to JC, which was a bigger battle for him. They bigged that up for a while. And he lost that kind of 3-0. You know what I'm saying? Him and Will, he kind of lost that 3-0. Yes. Fonz has looked better than all those battlers, dude. You know what I'm saying? So I like Fonz's chances in this one. If it ends up as a 2-1, we could throw that in as a caveat, but every once in a while I feel pretty confident in a 30 pick. And I just think Fonz pound for pound a top 10 battle rapper alive right now. I'm a huge believer in what he's got going on. I think he's going to make a statement.
And that's why I was saying that, like, I feel like, I don't want to say last year went under the radar, but like if you look at his work last year, like it's of that caliber. I think that we could be having a much different conversation if he was able to land another marquee matchup.
Fonz and John has to happen. That's the number one battle I want for both. And I'm happy that John John's got swamped. That's a great battle too. But for me, Fonz and John John's a grudge match. It's built up. Skill-wise, they do opposite things, but the highest level, that's the fight. That's if Fonz is able to beat John or have like a real crazy one with John, I think that's the one that's going to take the respect level for the whole public where it should be.
I'll go back to Bill Collector, like, fellas. I want to say this though: for Bill Collector, or if Bill Collector beats Fonz, I think that's that's a great win.
That's a good win. That would be one of his better. That would be one of his better wins.
Hey, listen, he make me look stupid, so I'm with that. Like that'd be a huge upset in my opinion.
Upset? That's what we do.
With the recent, if we just look at their legacy, like it's not that Bill can always compete, but if you've been watching the last 6 to 8 months of battle rap, there's no way he's the favorite going into this battle. That don't mean he's not as good as him when we just look at the skills, but he has not looked like, he doesn't look motivated. You know what I'm saying? He looks like his love for the game is pulled a little bit. So maybe he finds that in the Fonz battle, like, oh, this is as dangerous as it gets. So maybe this brings the best version out of me. We've seen that from Bill Collector before. But like I said, this is more about my belief in Fonz than it is me like dissing Bill or being down on Bill right now.
I don't even think it's not even a clear loss though. I know some people had Hustle beating Fonz, but I don't think that was clear. I don't know how you guys.
I have Fonz.
Fonz winning the battle. Okay.
I have Fonz with the slight edge. I can see the case for Hustle winning because I thought she was very performative in her first. But even in that circumstance, right? If he and I don't like using this, but like if he doesn't slip up in the third, we could. This is a completely different discussion here, So yeah,
I'd imagine the first and winning the second clear. So
yeah,
Bill, we rock with you, brother, but you gotta show me something, Bill. I didn't like the JC battle, brother. I gotta be the Ill Will battle too on the Calico's joint.
Well, him and JC got built up for a minute. Like I thought that was going to be like one of those ones for Bill. Yeah. So if that's not motivating you, I don't really know like what's different about this. You know what I mean?
Good point. All right, so that's day one, fellas. March 9th, day 2 card. Let's go here. Tay-Rock versus E-Ness. Let me say this real quick, fellas. Everybody named Mama got Tay-Rock dog walking E-Ness and everything like that. I don't know if you do dog walk. I don't.
Yeah, this not going to be for what is it? TVMA. You know when they put the TV ratings up so you can only watch it if you're over a certain age. This one's going to be ugly. It's going to have.
You saying this going to be Bankhead vibes, like somebody like Bankhead?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'll give you a great example. It'll be probably like Tay-Rock and Reed.
All right, I got Rock 2-1, man. I got Rock.
Yeah,
I got Let's Get Around.
I got Rock with the gentleman's sweep. I think Ines will make a round competitive.
You do? Wow.
I think he'll make a round competitive. Tay-Rock back in NY. They're gonna be happy to see him. Gonna be a good performance. And he said that he's not gonna really be battling off of URL like that. So in the times that he is, I just expect him to have like a great performance.
He said that his first battle was off URL, man.
Right. But I will say I do think that he is going to trim down the production this year, right? We're not going to be seeing like 15 to 20 battles. We'll probably see him back into like the 5 to 8 range. You know what I'm saying?
He deserves that too. He deserves that.
Right? Yeah. So with that, I think with that, every performance is going to be potent, especially with the type of battler he is. So yeah, I have Tay-Rock.
Yeah, I would think Ines could be entertaining for one round, fellas.
No, he can be entertaining, but Rock is entertaining too.
That's what y'all did with Ness and Geechee, and that was a 1-rounder. But that was like bad.
Yeah, that was bad. I was in the building.
Like that was a whooping. You know what I'm saying? And what Rock has been doing versus Bankhead, versus Prep, versus Ines when he's versus Reed when he's like the heavy favorite. He's another one of those guys that if he's battling like down, like Rock not going he's not known for choking or like just giving a round away. Shout out my guy Nitty. He be having light thirds. Like there's some guys that don't like complete 30s typically.
Right.
Rock is not one of those people. And I know Ness be having them pockets. He's entertaining, but he's not a better writer. Not a better puncher. He's not a better performer. And I ain't gonna lie, the pockets is where he's at. But the way Rock's been with the syllables, the multisyllabics, I don't even know if Ines is rapping better than Tay-Rock right now. You know what I'm saying? So I just think this one, and I got pretty bold predictions for most of this card. I feel pretty confident on both days. A lot of these being clear, so maybe I'm overconfident per se, but that for me, if there's anyone that out of all of these, I'm like, this is a 30. I think Rock's about to handle business versus Ines.
All right, Lang, talk to me. Charlie Clips versus KCJ. Welcome back, KCJ. Talk to me, fellas.
Nah, it's funny because I predicted Charlie Clips to beat Mike P.
Yes, you did.
Right, but here it's tough because
it's cemented. He can never take that video.
Yeah. I'm about to say, and I'm not taking it back. I'm gonna stand on that. But something. KCJ against the men, she has this weird voodoo that just transpires. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Yeah, it's gonna be it's a very inconsistent take that I'm doing here, but I do have KCJ 2-1. Charlie Clips is hit or miss against his female counterparts, right? Like he'll give you the Yoshi performance, but then he'll also give you the jazz performance, the QB performance. Couture was shaky for him too. So yeah, and obviously KCJ's track record against the men besides Geechee has been pretty phenomenal. So I'm gonna go KCJ 2-1.
Yeah, she wasn't even bad versus Geechee. She just got whooped. And it happens sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think KCJ, like you said, first of all, it's two things. One, she's great versus the men. Second, this is like her return and fight. And I think this is going to be her first battle back.
Yes,
Apollo is going to be after and we all got her kind of smoking J Love, all due respect. So like this is kind of like the big one to come back for. So when you have the return factor and she wanted to be booked, as far as it's not like she just like took a break. So she's like might have a chip on her shoulder. She's already good versus the men. And I don't know if Charlie Clips is going to be here. I think we might get Mr. Chuckles. I think we might get Mr. Chuckles. I think we might get the chill out, stop making noise when nobody.
Mad Biggie bars, Mad Biggie flips. He's a culprit. He's culprit number one when it comes.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. He absolutely. I almost bet everything I have. He gonna have a Casey Anthony bar. I'll bet everything that is to my name. You know what I'm saying? Like I just don't feel like. And what did I say when we talked about Clips last time? The more I see him on flyers, the less confidence I have.
Y'all both know this, brothers. He'll find a way to make this shit debatable. He will find
Yeah,
a way.
and that's the thing. He know how to bring the footage down a little bit, but you got to give it to Casey. She's won against a few guys like that. Her and Verb on his stage. Verb gave her nothing to work with, and she still made a performance out of that. So I just have it's a specific matchup. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Casey is the man on the return. I think she's gonna be overly like into this one. Like this is the 100% Casey that you're gonna get. And with Clips, he's got Mike. He had the Fonz thing booked. He's got this battle now. I think he already had he battled Chirac already. He's battled like 4 or 5 times. He's probably on another flyer we haven't seen yet or one I'm forgetting. How many times when Clips is battling like that are we getting quality? You know what I mean? So it's enough, and don't get it fucked up. Charlie Clips is better than Casey J. Like respect, like this is Charlie Clips. But if I said that, how would I explain the other 20, 30 losses of him not trying? You know what I mean? So I think this is going to be one of those where Casey just cleans him up. But if we get a vintage, you know, like a Clips performance that's out of the box like that, that would really add value to the card. And maybe these guys will give T-Top their full effort. But I've seen Clips do worse to people.
I just think Charlie going to have a few lines, a haymaker here and there, a freestyle rebuttal or some shit like that. That's gonna shake the room, and I got Chuck 2-1 close, man.
You got Charlie 2-1.
I got Charlie 2-1. Yeah,
it is in your why.
Oh God, me Charlie.
No, but sometimes you just pick Charlie, and he like really does, and you're like, oh, like so. It's not like that. I don't think it's that crazy.
I understand Casey's first battle. I understand Casey's first battle back. I get all that. I love the story. I interviewed and everything like that. But I'm going Charlie 2-1.
I like that. That's out there 3, but sometimes that's the ones that you need.
Okay, so I'm not crazy then because we both doing one. I'm about to say we both doing 1-1. I got Mike, and then now you got
in New York. So maybe Clips in New York would be a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? But then he's done this in New York.
But then I know you're gonna talk to her rhymes and going through the motions and shit like this. Look around and talk to this battle rapper. It'd be some weird shit. All right, fellas, Swamp versus Coffee Brown.
Battle of the night.
Battle of the night, Small.
This is my battle of the night. I think both of them always bring 100. You don't got to worry at all about what they're going to bring quality-wise to a battle, specifically recently. You know, it's funny because they both had a history of choking at times, but like as of the last year or two, you know, they've been at 100% on top of it. I think that this is a tough opponent when you talk female matchups. And Swamp, for a long time, speaking of Casey, he had to wear that, you know, Casey smoked me. How did you versus women? Then he battled Hustle as a Rain and Wody. He got after. You know what I'm saying? That was a slept on battle from number 14. I think people forget it was on that card. It was a good joint. And then he smoked 40. He was in like he was on the treadmill for that one. You know what I'm saying? But that it was what it was. So he's been doing better versus the women. He's just taking his craft more serious. I think he understands. Coffee. It's hard to bet. I bet against Coffee but not bet, but like I predict against her because she takes tough fights. Against Gitty on the riot, I had Gitty smoking her going in. She ended up, I didn't like the battle, but she did end up winning the battle. I had her losing versus Jazz going in, but I had her edging the victory out. You could still have Jazz as a close battle, but and then I had her losing versus John beforehand, and I still had John, but that was a debatable fight. Like Coffee, do not just be taking like clear L.
The Suge battle was ass. I like the Suge battle was ass.
The Suge one is an abomination, you know what I'm saying? And she technically she won, but that whole battle sucks. But my thing is like she's not getting smoked out here at all, man. She's competing no matter the level, no matter the top tier competition. I think she's going to compete here as well. But something I haven't mentioned as much, but I believe in with this card. I mean, the first one's called the Cook Up. This called No Cut. That drug talk, New York, probably smaller room. That's all going to hit. And I think she got a little bit of that, but Swamp style, a big part of that is talking that talk. And I think a battler like him, and maybe that'll work in Inez's favor. There's a couple other battlers on the card that I think it could add to their performance, even though we're going to talk about in a minute. But that's the edge for me that I think I prefer Swamp a bit as a battler right now. He's dangerous. And then I think that room is going to really gravitate towards that drug talk, that real talk. So I got Swamp 2-1 debatable, but it's my battle of the night, man. I think it's going to be the best back and forth.
Lang, answer me this question if you don't mind. Any concern that now that this battle's in New York City, Coffee Brown is Dot Mob now? Is she not Dot Mob? Right?
Yeah. She's down. It's called The Bad Guys. It's like her, Rex, and Sean, but she's down with Dot Mob affiliated characters.
So Rex, Smook, all these cats.
Now she's cheering on Mook when Mook was against Arsenal. So I mean, she for sure gonna have you know, a little bit of support there. But you gotta understand, she's going from a little bit of support to not having any at all. There's people that there was times she was in the battle by herself, just one woman deep.
Which is
But
fine.
yeah, man. But yeah, man. I mean, there's gonna be a great battle, a
Okay.
really good battle. Both of these guys are, in my opinion, were. I think that for sure, Coffee was the top three roadie, and in my opinion, you know, Swamp was a heavy candidate for champion of the year last year as well too.
Mhm.
It's always dope to see two people that were killing it last year like face each other at the top of the year. But yeah, I mean, I can echo all the sentiments of Smo. I mean, it's we're at a point now where you know Coffee's going to make every battle competitive. And if she's not going to make him competitive, she's going to whoop that person because that's pretty much all she was doing. Like against the top tier people, she was having good battles. Against the people that were beneath her, she showed the difference. You know what I'm saying? Against Jade, against a couple people last year. And then with Swamp Man, I think that he got the monkey off his back with the hustle performance. You know, I think this battle is going to be super debatable.
Okay.
I'm a edge Swamp 2-1. I feel like his haymaker ability is something to speak for.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Coffee may have a situation where like she may have like, you know, a better like sound round, but Swamp just knows how to like land certain stuff too. And like he just knows how to resonate with the crowd as well too. So I got Swamp 2-1.
Swamp Coffee be Swamp though.
No, but like that don't. It's not going to shock me because she be competing.
Yeah.
She beat Geechee. I mean, for me personally, so I can only call it the way I call it because some of these are debatable. But I got her beating Geechee, Jazz, and I didn't have her beating John, but you could debate it. So like, like she beat T-Top. Like she's beat killers, man. Like she really, I think that people don't realize, like, as we're watching her, we're watching probably one of the 5 greatest women's battlers of all time. Like we're watching the legacy built in real time. But when you look at the accolades, the types of wins that she's getting, versus man and female, she has the ability to go on some of those bigger stages. Some of those women really never try it. Some of those women never make it to like the 1,000 people. So I've been overly impressed with her the last year. And even though I'm predicting against her once again, you know what I'm saying? I'm not shocked at all if she beats Swamp and not that Swamp is not taking it serious or nothing. I think Swamp could be good, and she's good enough to beat a good Swamp. So it would be super impressive, though.
Very interested to see where the panel is going to have her for Wooa for 2024. I'm very interested to see where
it's the big 3 again, man. It's going to be a mixture. I know Vixen's got a little. She's not like a winner, but she'll be like in that conversation too. But her volume's been up there, and she got a couple slip ups, but she don't really got no like death. You know, she don't got the Suge battle, the worst thing, and technically, she still won. You know what I mean? So,
all right, fellas. Next battle, Av versus Bad News. Bad News. Am I gonna watch this? She gonna kill me? I'm sorry. I got Av 2-1 clear. Bad News. I know you think you win every battle, brother. Respectfully, you and I went back with the Fonz battle. I didn't think it'd be Fonz. I didn't think it'd be JC, brother. Respectfully, I don't see how you're gonna be Av right now. I understand, you know, I've been winning this battle. I've been calling out Bad News for a little minute though. I have 2-1, man. Clear. I know you got Shayna Ashley, got Verb down the road, but Av's gonna be losing, fellas. He just gonna be losing.
No, he got a. Oh, I can't say. Never mind. But he got battles coming. He got battles coming on. You got battles coming on.
Oh man.
Av 2-1 for me, fellas. Clear, man.
Av 2-1. Av 2-1. I mean, in no slight to Bad, because funny enough, I think that Bad News has been improving as a battler the past couple of years. It's just that certain battlers, when they go against other top tier comp, like they kind of reach their ceiling, and like them breaking the ceiling is them beating the top tier comp, and I just don't think that Bad News is breaking that ceiling yet, or is on the verge of breaking that ceiling yet, especially since he hasn't really shown us that.
But if he beats Av, boy. Woo!
I mean, that's a huge if. That's a very huge if, considering that Av has been facing like crazy comp and just making them look just like showing separation. You know what I'm saying? So
Av lose win the first round, and then Av win round 2 round.
And then on top of that, I mean, how many times did he show up on your show and say, 60%, 70%?
Yes.
He called out Bad News for quite some time. Yes. So obviously there's some venom behind that pin. So yeah, I got Av 2-1 clear against Bad News.
A part of me would want to almost go 3-0 because that's definitely the gap in talent. But I agree with something you said, 3. I think Av gives away first rounds think he gives away, and I know that you can debate that he didn't lose. He lost a lot of rounds. He lost a lot of first rounds last year. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm so tired. I'm so tired of hearing that. But I do think that it could be a little slow in the first. I think that might be Bad News' best round too. And I gotta agree, Bad News been better. And I'm in the minority with this. I did have him beating JC. Most people got JC, but I really like Bad. And I don't really like Bad News. And most like even he definitely lost to Rex. He talk about it's all I'm in the building. I beat Fonz in the building. I beat JC in the building. Then you battle Rex. Watch it on cam. Like get out of here, man. You know what I'm saying? But even though he lost, he was good versus Rex too. Like I gotta say, and this is someone that's been ultra critical. I hated Bad News Penn for many, many years. He has improved.
He beat Arsenal. He beat Arsenal too. We got thrown it out.
Yeah, and a lot of people beat Arsenal. He beat Arsenal money on the floor. It's still a good performance. Like I always thought he had he's like Mr. Wavy, like top tier delivery, but just nothing in the content. I feel differently, bro. I feel like he's improved a lot there. Has he improved enough to beat Av? No, I think Av is going to pretty clearly win this one, but I even got that respect where I think he's going to have a powerful first. And like I said, the room's going to be receptive. A little bit of that drug talk, that grit, that powerful delivery. We're in New York. I think Bad News is going to translate really well there. So I got Av 2-1, but this isn't going to be no whooping, in my opinion. Like I actually think this is a perfect situation for News to get a respectful performance. And I got to credit the News too. A lot of people talk numbers. News really brings numbers to battles. Yeah, true. He got 100K with Gotti. He got 100K with Danny in a one-rounder. He does 800K with Gitty. Like he holds his own when it comes to those numbers. So I got more respect for Bad News over the years, but I just don't think he's as good as Av. So I got Av winning pretty clear.
But I would say this, man, for him, once again, for him to get a win over Av, that's gonna be something.
He's gonna say he won no matter what.
Yeah, man, that's good. Because Av don't lose a lot of battles like that, fellas. Like clear.
When Av loses a battle, like it's usually when someone is like the best version of themselves, and it's usually against another top tier competition or top tier opponent. So
he ain't taken clear well since beat up. That's a long time ago, man.
2022, right?
2021.
Yeah.
21, son.
Smack Volume 8. Smack Volume 8.
Yeah. It's beat out, so it's a long ass time ago. You know what I'm saying? So
listen, we cover battle rap. Are we doing Av? I don't think we're doing this, but the culture in a sense, the way if we think Av has lost a battle since 2021, should that not be highlighted and be spoken about more? The fact is,
I think the Av has gotten a lot of love last year because they're starting to recognize the greatness that he's showing day in, day out in every battle. But like stats like that is for like people like us that pay attention to everything. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not expecting a casual fan to be like, "Oh, Av hasn't lost it," because truthfully, Av is not a person that has like the craziest fan base where like they amplify everything. Like a lot of people that like Av likes him because of the raps, right? So, but hardcore people like us understand that and see the greatness. You know what I'm saying? So, but I do think he got a lot of love last year, though.
I think it's kind of changed too, because the thing is, he's got a great support system now. And he's a bit more outspoken, which I like to hear. But then you get, and this is when you're getting somewhere in battle rap where there's almost hate for his support system. So the convo is more about not liking the people around him, and then the war there. But I think the thing is when you get to a certain level, you're going to get more love and more hate. It's not just one way. Like, it's not like that in any sport. Like, when you get to the top level of any sport, both of those rise. I think you see more love for Ab, but you see more hate. But I think the respect is just in there being more noise. So I think he's finally getting those types of flowers the last year or so.
Lang, is Ab a top 5 battle rapper right now?
I mean, kind of has to be. I feel like, in terms of just what he showcased the past couple of years or so, his consistency, probably arguably the most consistent battler in battle rap, right? Even if you want to say like he has different like tiers of dangerous or just different tiers of effort he gives, it still doesn't change the final outcome for him, so
without a question. In 3 years, he got to be top 5. Yeah. Like pound for pound, there's more popular battle rappers. There's more like what you would want in the main event slot, because there's some things he still lacks at in terms of the way he carries himself, in my opinion. But in terms of just like the raps, like nobody can beat him. And he's better on a big stage than in a small room. I don't think he gets enough credit for that either. I think he's a crazy big stage battler now. So I got respect for him.
Another thing I have to add is that like he's a person to me that hasn't become stagnated, because the one fear about punchers is that eventually you find newer and fresher punchers. You know what I'm saying? Like that's usually what happens. But the thing, he's added more tools into this arsenal with the angling, with the real talk, with adding comedy here and there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think that him also adding those tools to his arsenal, being more kind of surgical and tactical with how he approaches battles, is helped him a lot too. Because I don't see how you could say his A-War performance is anything like other abs that you would see in previous years. I feel like he showcased much more versatility in that battle in comparison to other battles early on in his career. So,
all right. Next battle, fellas: Snake Eyes versus Rum Nitty.
Now, Three. Can we get your opinion on this one first?
Rum
Three.
Nitty,
I know what you're going to say.
30,
Yeah, go
man.
ahead.
Rum Nitty clearly win this battle. Clearly win.
Yeah,
I got Rum Nitty clearly win this battle.
Yeah.
Clearly. Snake know that shit. I don't got a Snake Eyes beat Rum Nitty, man.
Like,
And three, really quick. I got a question. Really quick. This is a home game for Snake Eyes, right? We're not doing the Burrow thing where technically he's from this. Like we're not doing that, are we? Like this is a home game.
You know, it's funny. We'll keep that. We'll see if certain people do that on this card after the battle. They're gonna pull that stunt, right? But I'm not doing that. I'm not pulling that stunt. No, it's New York City.
Okay.
But respectfully, I don't think when it comes to Rum Nitty that matters.
Yeah.
Rum Nitty can go any fucking way he wants to go to battle,
He's worldwide.
and the reception is going to be there. I think he's one of the best top 3 battle rappers, and he damn sure not be number 3 right now. Okay, like I think that nigga is one of the best battle rappers walking the earth. Snake Eyes, I rock with you, brother, but I don't see you beating Rum Nitty at all, man. You got to shock the world. You got to show me something, brother. You got to show me something because the alien, he ain't doing no talking. You see Promo God, all that he's not giving you no promo, except when March Night comes and he's walking that stage. Ding ding, yo.
Hey, Snake not really promoing either though. I think he being a little bit more respectful because of the fight. You don't see Snake talking crazy about no Rum Nitty.
Nah, he know he got to lace up.
He's talking crazy about everybody else about Rum Nitty. He's like, hey, listen, I'm just going to the dungeon, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna write my bars. And listen, that's the right thing to do. And a lot of the times, this is why people end up giving Rum Nitty their best fights. And I know that I feel like people use that sometimes as a crutch of battlers. Like, oh, well, they always get people's best versions. But I really I believe the track record speaks to Rum Nitty getting a lot of like the best versions of battlers. And that's why I got Snake taking a round in this battle too. I know Nitty basically said this is a warm up for Daylight in a sense. And he's so much better than Snake that I definitely think he's going to win the first 2 rounds. But I think you're going to get a really good Snake, and something I kind of alluded to earlier, right? 2 things. One, Nitty has shorter thirds in battles like this.
Yes, he does.
Nitty mess around, just give the third away. You know what I mean? So I think there is a chance that Snake ends on his best note, and then Nitty has that bit of a shorter round. So I got Snake getting around. And 2, like I said, that room's going to be receptive to that talk. And if there's anything that Snake Eyes does, the epitome of his style, it's just that gritty, you know what I'm saying, New York talk. He gonna rap about the Chinese spot in the corner with the broccoli and like he's got his.
Why did he do the tone inflection? No, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Why you do that?
Yeah, so I think he's gonna give a good showing in this one. He got my guy at the bottom of the card, man. I don't love that. Box office
right now.
No. Let me ask you a question. Do y'all feel like Killer B, the third round, like Killer B got the third round against Nitty? Remember?
Yeah, a lot of people get the third round versus Nitty. You know
because he threw his foot on the gas to what you alluded to a second ago, right? So yeah, I can see that. I can see Snake. I got Rum Nitty 2-1.
I think Snake will be respectable. This is going to be one that I truly do think Snake's going to be respectable. I just don't see him beating Nitty for the first 2 rounds. And God forbid Nitty realizes that Snake battles get kind of like that noise and people really like, there's people that really want to see him like lose. If you get 3 rounds of prep Nitty, you know what I'm saying? Good luck, brother. But I think he's going to get the third
line, man. That's going to he's going to have some Snake shit that we never heard before.
This will be listen, it's one of the more interesting. I joke about it being the opener, but it is like one of the more interesting battles on the card, though. And that is something Snake always brings. Whether you buy it to love him or you buy it to hate him, his battles do be having energy behind it. You know
so are we not talking battle of the night? Could this be battle of the night, low key?
No, I think Nitty can have. I think Nitty can have performance of the night. And one thing that I want to highlight with this being the opener and Nitty, like I've seen Nitty open up some cards and he set the building on fire, almost to the point where nobody else could get the crowd back. You know what I'm saying?
Think he'll go first? I don't think they're. He's bottom of the flyer, but I don't think they're going to make him go first.
I would hope not. But I'm saying in the case then that would be an issue.
I think,
But
listen, for this, I think Swamp and Coffee should go before Snake and Rum Nitty.
I think they could throw Rock or Ness or
Have
Clips
that-
and Jay
yeah.
and a couple others. So,
but yeah, Nitty 2-1. I mean, we talked about Ab giving away first. Nitty gives away third. To be honest, I think that's just been
that's a perfect. That's exactly
like that's pretty much how it goes. I see Nitty having round of the battle with his second, because the same way that Rock has his patented seconds, Nitty is kind of known for that too. The first, I feel like Nitty's going to pull away. I think what's going to happen is that if it is, I guess, somewhat debatable, it's going to come down to the first, and it is going to come down to, and it might be a situation where Snake has a longer round, but Nitty's more efficient. Like that's usually how it goes in the Nitty battles. But I have Nitty 2-1. Wouldn't be surprised if this is a really good Snake, with it being an NY, it being this caliber of opponent, right? I'm not gonna lie, this is the nerd in me. I'm excited to see Nitty back in New York, specifically in Brooklyn, because the two performances he gave us in Brooklyn was against Ab and was against Ill Will.
Wow.
So I'm pretty excited to see how these performances go, or this performance go, considering that his track record in Brooklyn, and I know in the grand scheme of things it doesn't mean anything, but as a nerd, I'm pretty excited to see what that looks like against Snake.
That's a good stat line. That's a good stat.
Snake can't shake the world. He can't
shock the world.
Yeah, excuse me, I can't get out. Shock the world.
Here's the thing. He would have to catch Nitty slipping. And Nitty said something very interesting after the Real Sick battle. He said that like he kind of felt like he was falling off because he had the situation on Gates of the Garden. He kind of choked away the battle against Keith. And usually when he makes statements like that, he genuinely means it. And then he's like on straight kill mode for a year straight. Like usually like
he'll have, and you get the daylight battle coming up. You don't want to go because it's a war of optics when you have battles at that level. Last thing you need is anything bad on your record going into that. You want to have as much hype as possible and the people on your side. So who knows? Maybe you get a rare performance Nitty on this one, but I think he's pretty safe. There's a reason we're predicting him to win. You know what I'm saying? But,
Nitty's just another level.
I think it'll be good though. I do think it'll be one of the better Snakes.
All right, fellas. Last match here. New Jersey Twerk versus T-Rex.
Hey, listen, it's only allegedly, but allegedly, Twerk just started off his run with something fierce for Kid Slade. You know what I'm saying? I'm hearing that he got after it, and that drops tomorrow. So, I'm sure that you'll have your recaps, and I'll have my recaps as well when that battle drops on everything that went down in Redemption 4. But I always say with the thing about runs, because we know Twerk got a lot of battles, right? The hardest battle is going to get your most focus. So I think Twerk and A-Ward, I got no worries about Twerk. He's going to be all in on that one. The other battle in a run that gets the most focus is the first one, because you want to start off good so everybody's on your side, right? So that's how you get the Kid Slade. That's why I'm privy to, like, I'm inclined to believe he really was that good versus Slade, because you want to start off good, and then, of course, you want to have the biggest battle be good. So that leaves you with the Rex and Vixen battles. And these are the ones that get a little bit tricky, right? Because you can't be 100% for everyone with all this writing and prep and everything. So you're going to have a little bit of, even for someone that's been as good as he's been the last couple of years, you're going to have one that's a little bit reserved. And I'm a little worried about this Rex one being the one that's a little more scaled back. While I think the setting, that gritty setting, perfect. There's no one better in that. Rex invented being gritty in that gritty setting. You know what I'm saying? In New York. Rex in New York. Small
gas will
room.
be there. The gas will be there too, though, Small. The gas will be there.
Yeah. Small room, too. Smaller room. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things working in Rex's favor, and that's why it's crazy. I'm taking Twerk 2-1. Debatable. I really think Rex can win this battle. I think Rex, and I'd if I want to be crazy, I go and say Rex 2-1, because everything would make you, because I know, listen, he's better than Rex is right now, but this is the best we've seen Rex in a decade. This is the best setting for Rex. This is Rex in New York, not a big stage where I think there's a reason that he beat Mook on a big stage. There's no one messing with Twerk on a big stage right now, maybe besides Hitman Holla. We're gonna have to wait and find out. You know what I'm saying? But if Rex is gonna win, this is like the perfect culmination of events for Rex to win. He's busy. This is in my hometown. This is in a setting that I'm good in. So I think it's going to be a good battle. It could even be battle of the night. I think it could be that. I'm still a little more confident Swamp and Coffee, because there's always the chance that Twerk just kind of like runs in there and gets rid of Rex. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to go Twerk 2-1 debatable. But between this and Vixen, if Twerk's going to drop a battle, it's going to be one of these two.
Well, hey, I was about to ask you brothers a question. I feel like someone just shut me down right now. Shit, I wish respect to Rex. I love Rex, one of my goats. But can Twerk beat him at 70%?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna say no in this circumstance. I'm gonna say no in this circumstance. I feel like he has to be kind of locked in for this battle for all the reasons that Smo just mentioned. Man, I don't know why, but and again, this is just me being a nerd again, but this gives me a Sway versus Twerk type feel. Like that back in the day, I remember that battle was like close just because Swave had like a little bit of a different approach.
That was Guardians of the Culture too, wasn't
it? He approached him with like an OG type of perspective or whatever, and Twerk was just kind of bar for bar. I can see a world where Rex is kind of talking to Twerk's soul, but because Twerk is so good at being like just pin heavy, it doesn't really like affect him as much. This is gonna be in my opinion, this is gonna be a crazy style clash and probably preferential. You know what I'm saying? Man.
Really? You too?
Yeah,
wow.
I think no, I really know because the thing about it is that I think that with Rex, his ability to talk to his opponent and just the other things that you add on to it, and like just he has like these life applicable lines that like connect with people. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like his third for his third or second against Chess is like just resonates with me because it's like he's not even barring, but the stuff the gems that he's dropping connects you to his lines even further. That's why I think it's going to be really preferential. I'm gonna edge Twerk 2-1, but I'm not surprised if Rex wins this battle.
Yeah,
I'm not at all.
A lot of
not
respect for Rex right now, man. Because like I said, like people think when I'm like really harsh on the battler, they just take it as hate. Like, no, sometimes you'll be harsh. I think Rex was like didn't care for 8 to 10 years. I think Rex was losing a lot year after year. And I'm like, yo, like I get that y'all got a Mount Rushmore legend, this and that. He's a doormat right now. He hasn't been that way in years from Big K, and I got him losing some of these battles, don't get me wrong, but from Big K, great performance, Chess, great performance, Chilla Jones, great in mass, you know what I'm saying, great performance, goddamn Bad News, even if he wasn't as good versus Swamp, he lost. I don't think he was like awful.
Oh, he wasn't bad.
Like,
he picked it back up.
Awful. That's not awful, Rex. And versus Clean, he was reserved, but he even got the W there. So like, and I didn't like it, but my point is none of that is as bad as like Rex versus Danny, or like when he showed up with 1 round for Shine and then 2 rounds at nothing.
Rosenberg.
There's years I've really seen him. Yeah. There's years I've seen him like that. So I believe that I'm looking at Rex about as dangerous as I ever have. Like he looks like it's 2012 and he's a top tier and he's ready to compete with anyone. And if you look at the Rex back then and you're like, small room in New York, I bet you wouldn't take that many people above him, especially not a guy with a busy schedule that's known for getting a little, So I got Twerk for that respect, but I'm telling you 3, like, this is going to be close, and I think some people are calling it. Even if Twerk wins, I don't got
I gotta be tripping there because I got Twerk clearly.
You gotta Twerk on 30, and we're gonna be like, all right, here we go. Like,
right.
Because that's not it's much more likely Twerk 30's Rex than Rex 30's Twerk. So you know what I'm
saying? So, and Rex wanted Twerk since like. Because he did an interview with Black Compass like 2017, 2018. Like he wanted him for years. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. So that part of it too, the respect that he has for Twerk as well too.
New Jersey Twerk. I'm gonna be real. Rex, you one of my goats in my Mount Rushmore, but I will be shocked if in the next conversation we have is T-Rex beat Twerk. I will be shocked.
You gotta agree though, 3. One of these battles, though, you're going to expect a Twerk that's kind of like
the Vixen one.
And I feel I'm not mad at that. If you're looking at like the Vixen one, because she done caught some great ones off guard, so I ain't mad at that. But between this and Vixen, one of those,
you're right, Small. It's between this Vixen and Rex. It's a 2 battles. I don't think Ward is he know what that is right there, man. He know what the fuck that is over there.
Yeah.
I mean, but I got Twerk 2-1.
Man. I mean, we all got Twerk, so we're dressing it up, and we still got him with it,
I got Twerk body bag and everything. Well, I'm interested to see what he does against Kid Slay tomorrow when that battle drops. I can't wait to see his approach in that battle. That's gonna tell me a lot and everything like that. But I think Twerk haymakers too, man. I know Rex in New York though. The whole New York gonna be behind him. Dot Mob.
Rex for sure gonna get around.
Rex
for sure is gonna get around.
For sure.
Yeah, he's for sure gonna get around.
For Twerk to beat Rex, if he beats Rex, and it'd be Mook, that's
both in New York.
Both
in New York, and he's starting off the year good. I think he battled someone. He battled on TBL. I don't remember who he battled. I ain't gonna lie. My apologies to whoever that is. And then he battled the Slade joint. Like I said, it's allegedly up until our eyes see it. Because even if I believe what they're saying, I still can't like confirm nothing until I see it. But if he starts off with a Rex win, Slade win, hey, listen, 2025, a lot of people are outside. A lot of people want to compete for that last Cody award. And this is a guy that the only reason he didn't win it, contrary to the public belief, is not because of our votes. It came down to the fan vote. If the fan vote went the other way, and I think it was only split by like 5 or 7 votes, New Jersey Twerk would have a champion of the year belt right now. So I know he said he's not doing it for Cody, and he doesn't have to. He's talented enough just to win it off the strength. But I'm looking at Twerk's year right now, and if he completes this 4 and everyone wants the Hitman battle, he gonna be up there in them talks again, man.
I know you guys probably can't say off the top of your head though, but where do you guys have Twerk for 2024?
No, I absolutely can't. I can't give away the exact placement.
Right.
Get time of the day for that. But I think he's been a top 15 guy.
Okay.
I think that he's got like top 10 peaks because like he really did pass bad. He did Big K bad. Like he's got some, but he choked a lot to start last year. Like he top really
Smoke. So that's the problem I have with him because I say this for the last couple of years. He should be top 3 every year of talent alone and rapping.
If he just didn't choke in any battles, you know what I'm saying? And I think if you did a category, who's a top 5 performer? They were having that talk, right? If you did top 5 performer, top 5 pen, top 5 punch, or top 5, you're like, wait a minute, he's kind of in all of these. Like, that's just how crazy his skill set is. And he showed that with some peak battles. I think he could have even been higher for sure. Like a guaranteed, we wouldn't even be talking if he's top 10 if he got the Slade battle. It was supposed to happen last year. And the X Factor battle, which, it's never going to happen, but he was going to kill. He was going to do horrible things to X Factor. You know what I'm saying? So a couple of those probably are going to hold him back, but he still did some incredible stuff last year. I'm sure that we're going to be talking about him on the list and not as a starter per se. So
and to that point, like Smo just mentioned, he mentioned pin performance. That's a part of the criteria. So material, performance, like when he's on, it's like what box does he not check
his
off?
Consistency just wasn't 100% there. But when you look at the problem with the categories, problem in a sense is that there's certain star guys with their skill
that just have it automatically.
And even if they got a couple losses, so they'll lose consistency, but who got more impact? Who got more performance than Twerk? Material-wise, not a lot of people got better material. So if you go right by those categories, it's tough, but we always leave a little bit of room for, because, losses matter. Clear losses, when you choked all 3, they matter, and they get counted one way or another. I know people worry about that, but we've been doing this for years now. I think we do it at the highest level in terms of watching every single battle, and that's going to be accounted for, but we also can't ignore that man's skill set.
All right. My brothers, as always, I appreciate the knowledge, taking your time. Let me go watch my Knicks beat up on Smoke's Boston Celtics.
We're hoping. We're trying to manifest something, people.
I love y'all, brothers. I appreciate you as always, man. As always, I love y'all, brothers, man. Love. Shout out to my brother Smo. Shout out to Lang. Y'all know what the fuck going on, man. You heard?